Why is the Gemini moon one of the hardest moons to understand? And why is it so darn hard, in my opinion, to have? I'm going to tell you all the reasons why in this video. And if you are a Gemini, or if you have a Gemini moon, Gemini rising, or if you have a stellium, that means 3 personal planets or more in the 3rd house, or if you've even got your Mars or Venus or Mercury in Gemini, or your South Node or North Node in Gemini, you will want to watch this video because I'm going to go deep into the Gemini moon specifically. Why is it so darn challenging? Why is it a hard moon to have? And what the blessings are as well. So don't miss this video if you have any of those Gemini placements. My name is Meredith. I'm your evolutionary astrologer. I am here every Sunday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time, giving you the world of astrology, the deep, the truth, the real, the gritty, and we go way beyond sun sign astrology, and we go into the underbelly of the truth of astrology. So you can find it all right here every Sunday at 9:30. So today, Gemini, it's a hard moon to grasp. It is an air moon. The moon is one of the most important placements in a person's chart. If you've been studying with me and learning on my channel, and if you've watched my over 300 videos and my private behind the scenes member only videos, you know that we don't do sun sign astrology, and you're starting to realize how complex all the astrological layers are that you have to take into consideration that creates your whole entire chart. The Gemini moon is tough, in my opinion, and Gemini energy in general can be tough because it twists and it turns and it contradicts itself. It's hard to grab onto definitively because it lives inside of possibility and relativity. It doesn't live in the black and white world, and so it's hard to sink your teeth into. Wherever you have Gemini in your chart, there is a little bit of ambivalence about you. There's lots of questing and searching for truth. In this video, I am going to reveal this deeper side and why are Gemini moon people like this. I'm also going to give you this one secret technique that you have to understand to be able to understand your Gemini moon person, or if you have the Gemini moon yourself. You cannot understand anyone, and I mean anyone, through astrology unless you understand their moon sign. Yes, including your own self. And some say the moon sign is even more important than the sun sign. And I hope that you have already watched my whole moon sign series and my 3 videos on the moon phases. What does the moon mean in your natal chart? And those are critical videos. So go back and watch those 3 videos after you watch this Gemini video. The moon is instinctual. It's not thought out and it's not rational. And Gemini is a very rational sign. It's literally how you would react if you saw a baby being born, your moon sign. Your moon sign also tells you how you would react if you saw or heard a bomb going off in your neighborhood, or if a bad guy robbed your house, what would your reaction be? Or if your kitty cat died. Your moon sign is your emotional instincts to crisis, to love, to all that is happening. That is the deeper truth of you. I want you guys to tell me right now, by house and by sign, what is your moon sign. So do you have a Gemini moon in the 3rd house? Do you have a Scorpio moon in the 1st house? The house matters, the sign matters, and then the aspects that they make to the other planets matter, and the moon phase matters. And you can find videos on all of that. Also, watch my Finding Love Through Your Moon Sign video, and it's a live, so it's on the live tab, and it's really, really great. And I go into the very best moon aspects that you can have that create love. So you can leave me a comment below filling in the blanks. I am a blank house, blank moon with a blank phase. So I am a 1st house Gemini moon with a new moon phase. You guys got it? So leave me yours. First, I want to tell you something about myself. I met this gentleman by the name of Andrew Mackey. He is an incredible artist, and he does these absolutely beautiful, beautiful, beautiful astrological mandalas. And he has even made a mandala for Carolyn Miss, no joke, the Carolyn Miss, and Norm Shealy. And when I saw his work, I just fell madly in love with it. And I was taking an astrology class and I had met him. And we became fast friends. And I asked him if he would paint me a mandala. So I commissioned him to do so. And he did. And we met and he interviewed me for hours. And he had my chart, and he does astrology too. And you can even get an astrology reading from him. But after interviewing me for hours, for like 2 hours, he said, wow, it really sounds like you want your astrological mandala based on your moon sign, not your sun sign. I was like, I do. I kind of do, because if it's going to hang in my house, everybody can see my sun sign. I mean, it just hangs out there loudly. It is of no mystery at all. But my moon sign is so private, and it really does reflect my values so, so deeply. I never want my moon, which is my heart, to be overlooked. And so I want to show you guys the mandala. It is absolutely stunningly gorgeous, but it's not, so you're going to come with me, and sorry for the bad camera angle, but I hung it in my office and when I was doing my feng shui, and here it is. And I'll put his website, by the way, down in the notes section. And if you want your mandala, and no two mandalas look the same. I don't know if you guys can tell, but like this right here is the astrological wheel, and then this is a castle, and he has these gorgeous, gorgeous guardian angel dancers, and the moon over there, the moon. And then you can't see, and I wish I could get closer. This is really, really huge. This is enormous. This is so big. And here's my little sticky notes because I'm doing feng shui. So I had to put the direction of what direction is where. It's really, really huge. This is probably 3 feet by 4 feet. I don't know. This is the mandala for my moon sign, and I love it. And he has my whole chart right here, and then the tunnel of light. And you can't see, but there's all kinds of symbols in here. I like the illumination, and I like the darkness, and I like the old castle wall. I mean, that is my heart. And I love the arts, and I love dance, and it reflects me. And so again, if you guys want to get your mandala done, I know that Andrew is still painting. He's a brilliant artist, and you guys should go check out all his work. It's just mind-blowing. He is so friggin' talented. He's so talented. And he has a Gemini moon. Isn't that crazy? But the reason why I wanted to show you guys my mandala is because that's how important the moon is. The moon is what is inside of you that shape shifts you. The moon is the deepest part of your soul. The moon is hidden. The moon cannot be seen unless I choose to show it to you. Gemini moon, I'll say, has a very deep need for connection. They need to connect people, places, and ideas all together and then into themselves. And it's actually a compulsive need. And as a child from 0 to 12 years old, they were restless. They were high-spirited children, and they were curious about life and curious about everything, wanting to know how everything in life worked. And these are people who early in life, they learned how to read and probably even write and speak at a very early age. They probably spoke very early in life. And they usually came to value the mind, to value learning. And they probably were surrounded by people that were intellectual or smart, because they came to value intelligence, or they knew that that was a family value. And so they wanted to be smart. They wanted to learn. They were hungry for knowledge. I also hope you guys watched my Gemini Rising video, because I think that is my deepest Gemini video that I have ever done. Now, when I say they need connection, I do mean they need connection, but they don't need a touchy-feely kind of connection necessarily, unless they've got a lot of water in their chart. But they do have to be with somebody in the sense of connecting into somebody who has bright ideas or somebody who can communicate at their same wavelength. They get bored very easily, and they're not going to be able to sit in silence for too long, like a Scorpio moon. I thought it was funny in my Scorpio video where it's like you're a buzzkill if you talk. Well, Gemini moons need communication. They have to have it. I'll tell you, a lot of Gemini moon people, and if you have a lot of Gemini in your chart, this is going to be true for you. If you have Mars or Venus, you're going to feel a little bit of truth in this. And if you have the nodal axis in Gemini, you're going to feel the truth in this. Gemini moon people, and if you have a lot of Gemini placement, they didn't usually get a touchy-feely mom, but rather a mom that shaped or valued shaping their mind and their hunger and thirst for curiosity. And quite frankly, they probably had a mom that really valued being smart, being intelligent, having knowledge. Knowledge is power. They may have also had parents, at least one parent, that was fairly open-minded and maybe even somewhat non-judgmental, even detached. So maybe mom wasn't necessarily aware of what was going on in the Gemini moon's life. Maybe it was no fault of their own. Maybe the mom was just too busy. Maybe the mom was getting her own PhD. Maybe the mom was a doctor and couldn't be at home. Maybe the kid was a latchkey kid and had to let themselves in after school. But usually the Gemini moon person has a parent that is a little bit detached. And that's why I think this moon is one of the harder moons. Now, this is just my opinion, and it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. It doesn't mean there's anything bad. It just means that if you chose this moon, you really chose to come in with an emotional detachment. Probably it's in your karmic contract somewhere to learn how to attach emotionally and learn how to value feeling vulnerable, learning how to speak your feelings to get your needs met. And Gemini moon people usually have a detachment syndrome. I've seen that, where it is very difficult for them to even understand what another person means when they say, I need you to emotionally attach to me, because they are connected. They are just not connected at this deep, touchy-feely way. They're dialed into your thoughts. Gemini moons probably had a mom, a bit of a progressive thinking mom, and not somebody who was just stuck in a rut going round and round, and maybe not even a traditional type of mom, but a mom who did things a little bit differently than other moms, and maybe even a mom who wanted to pursue her own skills, her own crafts, her own intellectual pursuits, and not just be in a marriage or in a situation where she had to rely on other people to take care of her, like dad. Probably this would be a mom that wanted to break free from being dependent on anybody. Now, this is not always the case, and you'll have to tell me what kind of mom you got, but this is quite frequently. And they teach independence. These moms teach you how to become independent. Now, here's what's hard for a Gemini moon person or just a Gemini. They cannot stand being dependent on somebody else. They literally cannot stand it. They are ferociously independent. And so if you are in a situation where you are dependent on another person and you are a Gemini moon, I would say don't quit learning. Don't quit studying. Don't quit your own pursuits. Keep your own pursuits close to your heart and keep learning and growing and stretching so you can eventually get independent. I'm not saying to leave relationships, but you can stand in your own independence, in your own knowledge, because that's when a Gemini moon person or a Gemini in general becomes fully empowered, when they're allowed to pursue their own intellectual pursuits, put them out there in the world and disseminate them, connect them to other people, and get paid for their worth, for their knowledge. That is one of the most rewarding and impactful and empowering values for a Gemini moon. Gemini moon people had a parent for sure that believed in self-development, with being smart, with being articulate, with being well-read, and with being interested in life. One of the things that I have discovered is Gemini moon people and Geminis and Gemini rising and lots of planets in the third house keep you young. They are the fountain of youth. They physically look younger than people their age. If you have your moon in the third house, you probably physically look younger than people your age, whatever moon sign you have. If you have a Gemini moon, you probably physically look younger and better than people your own age, probably. It is literally the fountain of youth. I was thinking, like, why is this? Well, they're usually adaptable and flexible and nimble and agile. But you know what it really is? Here's my secret. What creates the youthfulness is, are you ready? It's curiosity. Yeah. So it's their curiosity that creates a zest for life that keeps them youthful. They are like curious kids, even at 80 years old. They're looking and trying to discover the thing that they've always wanted to do but never did. Like, these are the people that will be 80 years old teaching themselves how to play guitar. Yeah. Or teaching themselves how to paint. Or, oh, you didn't know? I'm a muralist now. Oh, you are? Oh, yeah. I gave up my engineering job and now I'm a muralist. I mean, these people are like, they reinvent themselves constantly with their new knowledge, and it keeps them extraordinarily young. So curiosity is the elixir of life for a Gemini or Gemini moon person. So let's talk about detachment. This is why Gemini I think okay, I'm just going to be honest with you. I think Gemini is the second hardest moon to have. I think an Aquarius moon is harder and the very hardest. And Gemini moons is the second hardest moon to have out of all 12 moon signs. And then I would say a Scorpio moon. One of the reasons why is because it is so damn difficult for a Gemini to connect emotionally deeply, like just merge way down. I like to take stereotypes and I like to dig down beneath them. And I don't want to stereotype the Gemini moon as detached. What it really is if I break that open, is that they are ferociously emotionally independent. And that's the truth. They learn to count on themselves. That's why dependency or codependency is like, I mean, it's like the plague for a Gemini. It is so painful. I'm going to start to say they are ferociously emotionally independent. They don't want to rely on other people to emotionally fulfill them. They actually also don't really want to be the thing or be responsible to emotionally fulfill you either. It's like, you do you and I'll do me. I'll do the things that make me happy. You do the things that make you happy. And they don't really run agendas on other people. They let you do what you want to do. And that is one of the most gorgeous things, because that's how they give other people freedom. And that's how they want to receive freedom. They want the freedom to be able to be whoever the hell they want to be tonight. Because it's probably going to change in the morning. Not really, but kind of, unless you have a lot of fixed signs. Now, I don't know why exactly, but I've done a ton of research on Gemini, and I have, like, some of my very favorite people in all of life are Geminis, including my beautiful sister and my dad. And and one of my very best friends, Mary. She's just beautiful. And I love my Geminis because they don't judge me. They let me be me, and they accept me for all my warts, all my flaws, all my problems, all my challenges, and they forgive my obnoxious behavior. They forgive me faster than any other sign. And I will say that is a blessing for Gemini moon people. They forgive you. They absolutely, not only do they not hold grudges, they don't even remember what they were mad at. They really don't. They're like, oh yeah, I was really mad. I was going through a really hard time. What was I mad at you for? Oh God, I don't even remember. That was so long ago. So I just love them. They let you have your blunders. I don't know why, and maybe you Geminis and Gemini moon people, you can tell me. But I think that the reason why Gemini didn't easily attach in that emotional, deep emotional way to their primary parents is because I think they were let down emotionally. And so they learned to not count on other people for their happiness. And they learned how to create happiness and fulfillment and self-soothe and love for themselves by themselves, or through learning, through their passion. I think that this is actually a self-protection where they just don't want to give that piece of themselves to somebody else because it's so vulnerable. And one thing I know about my Geminis and the Geminis that I've met is they do not do emotional vulnerability. Nope, 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 nope. Now, my sister has a Cancer moon. Her heart is really bottled up, but when she does open it, the floodgates, she'll drown in her own floodgates when they open up because her feelings are so massive. But it is hard to get her to crack. But then once she does, but that's the Cancer moon, right? So, but she has a Gemini. But there is a stoicism, and Geminis want to be smart. And so emotions are not smart. Emotions have no IQ. So they don't relate to their emotions as much as they relate to their mind. So I think that this is a big self-protection where they don't merge or give their whole heart over very easily, or if ever, or if at all. It's too vulnerable to reveal your feelings. And that's out of self-protection and self-defense. So you guys, I have to tell you that I want you to do 3 things. I want you to look at your moon sign by house and by sign and by phase. But I also really, really, and I cannot stress this enough, your progressed moon is going to change every 2.5 years. And when you are about 30 years old, the moon is going to progress back to your natal moon. It's going to go through all 12 signs. It's going to take about 30 years, 29 to 30 years to go through all 12 signs. And then when it does come back to the place that it was at the time you were born, that's called your lunar return. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to look at your progressed moon by house, by sign, and by phase, because it's going to change every 2.5 years. And when it changes, your whole emotional outlook changes and shifts. It brings in big, giant energy shifts in your life. And it is so critical for you to also know your progressed moon and your progressed moon phase. And you can go buy my progressed package in my shop at soulnavigation.com. Just click on the shop tab. And I want you guys, I made it so affordable. You guys will get your progressed report and you will get your progressed chart. So you can just buy that simple little package. We just made that brand new. Or if you want to go deeper, and this is my favorite package, you should get the Advanced Astro Gold package. It is so, so good. And you will get 2 reports, and you will get a very deep understanding about your chart. And you will also get your progressed report, and you'll get your progressed chart too. So you can see where all your planets are. Now, if you want to get the progressed package, I would recommend that you get a little mini reading with somebody on my team so you can understand it. And so you can calculate the dates, and you can learn the dates that your moon will change by progression. The moon progresses really fast. And so I want to know, do you have a progressed Gemini moon? Now, when you have a progressed Gemini moon, you're going to feel all these things. You're going to feel all of this. When you get a progressed Scorpio moon, oh my God, your world gets so damn deep and it gets so emotional that you could feel like you're suffocating, especially if you are a Gemini. So you want to be prepared for that. So I want you to know your natal moon sign, your progressed moon sign, and then I want you to do your synastry moon signs, your moon sign in synastry with your partner. And then you can also do your composite moon sign. So that's the midpoint of the moons between you and your partner. And that's really fascinating. So there's 4 if you're in partnership, there's 4 different moon things that I want you to look at. Your natal, your progressed, the synastry, where their moon is, where your moon is, and then your composite with your love are so, so, so powerful. It's going to be lots of information. So astrology is deep. So knowledge is an interesting thing. Knowledge in today's world is power. And when you have knowledge, you are powerful. You depend on no one to solve your problems. You are confident. You are in control. You are 1000% independent because you have knowledge. You can count on the outcomes that you receive because of you, and your knowledge creates those outcomes. So it's safe to say that Gemini moons like to feel and do feel emotionally in control because they're ruled by knowledge, and knowledge is powerful. Knowledge is power. So no one controls a Gemini moon. They're tough, but they're not tough like an Aries tough, more like an Aquarius. They're mentally tough. They usually heard and then figured out and then knew and then proved to be smart at a very young age, and they value this about themselves. So they don't want to have a bunch of unraveled emotions that have no EQ, no IQ running amok. They want to stay in control and very smart. And they usually come from at least one very, very, very bright parent. Tell me if your mom or your dad was super smart, if you have a Gemini moon, or if you even have a third house moon. Third house moons usually have intellectual parents. The parents of the Gemini moon person are just not all up in their business usually. I actually kind of think that the Gemini moon person wanted more from their parents. They were left wanting. Is that true? Leave me a comment in the chat or down below. Usually I find that the Gemini, if you have a lot of Gemini in your chart, you did not get, those Gemini moon people just did not get all that they wanted from their parents. They were left a little bit emotionally hungry. And that's part of that detachment. They learned how to go without. They learned how to go without emotional attachments, deep emotional bonds. Now, they probably knew they were loved or felt that they were loved, but it just showed up differently than what their soul probably craved. And so they learned how to self-soothe by developing ferocious emotional independence. They also probably forgave this part of their life. Like I said, Gemini moons don't hold grudges, and they don't sit in their wounds and stew. And they rationalize this part of their life, usually. Unless they have Cancer or Scorpio or Taurus or Pisces in their chart, then they may see this experience as a wound, and it might be a little harder to forgive, or even if they're a Sagittarius, because then they're born under a full moon. But because they're so emotionally independent, it's hard for them to make deep, long-term emotional commitments. Can they? Yes. They usually do this after they've grown a little, had a lot of experiences, so with age and time and a little bit of wisdom. And it doesn't come easily for them to stick to one thing for a long period of time. Boredom is their nemesis, and it finds them easily. And when they get bored, their minds check out. And what happens is they start to feel empty and vacant and restless, and they just want to move on to the next thing. And that next thing might or might not include you. Yeah, sorry. Don't get boring on your Gemini moon person, people. No boredom here, because they can just not handle boring energy. They will totally shut down on a boring life with a boring person, and they're not going to stick around for boredom. No. They enjoy their own company usually. Remember, they're ferociously independent. If it comes to the point where you're so boring, they're not. They don't think they're boring. They can be fascinated with themselves. So it's easier for them to be by themselves than it is to be with boring old you. Hopefully you're not the boring one. Back to the mom. And it can be the dad. You know, I want to say it can be the dad or the mom. I usually associate the moon with the mom. But in today's world, we're raised so uniquely. Usually you see the mom in the 4th house and the dad in the 10th. But what's interesting is I'm my daughter's mom, but you're going to find me in her chart in her 10th house. And I'm in her 4th house a little bit, but she's my only child and I'm her only parent. So only child, only parent. And you find me in the 10th house. It's kind of like masculine energy. A little bit in the 4th, but you see me in the 10th. So I do want to say that this is interchangeable. These houses are interchangeable, and the moon can be the father, especially if the father was the primary parent. But the primary parent usually gave the Gemini moon person more stories, more talk time, more conversations, more philosophy, more communication than they did snuggles and hugs. Yeah. And they probably experienced their primary parent as very clever and very witty and kind of lighthearted and knowledgeable. And so they learned how to mimic these traits. If they didn't have this in a parent, then they had this in a role model, because this is how life was actually role modeled to them. Also, I have found with Gemini moon people that parents sometimes minimized drama, and they seemed maybe carefree or like they could care less. They kind of have a tendency to have a parent that gives sort of the cool impression that worrying was, unnecessary and just took too much energy. So their parent could seem to them at times, while smart, maybe superficial or not emotionally aware or not emotionally in touch or not emotionally as deep as them. I just want to know, was this your messaging? Did you get this as a message when you were 0 to 12 years old? Did you feel like maybe your mom just wasn't as deeply in touch with your emotional needs or even your world? Like she didn't see it in the full capacity that you did? I think if you have a lot of Gemini placements or 3rd house moon or even a 3rd house sun, you probably can relate to this. Oh my gosh, you guys, I want to tell you, become a superstar, super supporter. I'm building my master class. I still need a little more time to do it, but you, after 3 months time, you'll get access to take my whole master class. There's going to be 30 classes per master class, 30 sessions per master class, and you're going to get to be able to take it for free. So just stick with me if you are a superstar, super supporter. And I'll be using all of your charts in my members only videos. And you get all those perks that you get as a super supporter. So I hope you're a super supporter or a superstar super supporter. Woohoo! You can join the channel in the notes below and come join our community. It is so beautiful, and come learn with me behind the scenes. I have so many videos and I give you a lot more of my secrets. You'll just love it. We love our super supporters. And you also get to chat during the lives. Lots of perks. You guys can learn all about it. There's a video on my homepage that tells you about all of the perks that you get. It's really worth it. And it's only, if you're a super supporter, it's only 29 cents a day, and you support the channel, and it's just so lovey-dovey and loving, and I just appreciate it. One of the neat blessings about the Gemini moon person is they usually have a parent that actually listens to them and values their opinion and their voice. And it's usually a parent that you could just pick up the phone 24/7 and they're open to discussing ideas with you or giving you advice or hearing your advice, always willing to talk to you and share with you. However, if you need them to feel sorry for you or have compassion for you, you may be sorely disappointed. It's like this parent has answers to every question. And yes, that probably annoyed you at some point, but now you might be exactly the same way. So you, my Gemini moon person or my Gemini person, are probably, most likely, you are probably really witty, super clever, highly intelligent, very funny, kind of playful, very curious, very open-minded, non-judgmental. You're probably the most non-judgmental friend that a person could have. A great communicator. I hope you communicate for a living. Tell me that you do. Tell me that you do. You're probably very charming, super friendly, super social, can make friends with anyone. Easy on the nerves, easy to be with, adaptable, flexible, curious, adventurous. I think I said curious twice, but it deserves being mentioned twice. Spontaneous, adventurous, and you can also be unreliable, super flaky, too changeable, too independent, not revealing, like you get the other person to talk about their feelings, but you don't share. You can play both sides. You can have a forked tongue. You can be kind of backstabbing, speak poorly about people behind their backs. That's the shadow side. You can also not know what you feel. You really can be so far removed from your own feelings, you don't even know what the hell you feel. Like, Do I like him or do I not like him? I really don't know. I better flip a coin. You can be out of touch. You can be aloof, cool, cold, detached, robotic, mechanical, right? And you can be perpetually attracted to the unavailable person because the unavailable person is detached, right? So it's perfect for you. So Gemini moons usually need a challenge, and they need a challenge because they don't want somebody who's going to over attach to them. They do not like over attachment. I have found that like about 90% of the Gemini moon people that I've met in their early years at least, are attracted to the unavailable, unattainable lover. And they can even become addicted to the person they can't have. And once they have you, guess what happens? It's shocking. They get bored. Boring. Availability is so boring. And so they are here to learn how attachment does not create boredom. It's just so foreign for them. They love puzzles. And so they love the intellectual, a Rubik's Cube game of trying to win you. And you're unavailable and unattainable. They love playing strategy games and they love playing chess. And so the unavailable, unattainable person gives them this exquisite joy of the chase. Yeah. Oh my God, it's maddening. And this is why this is one of the hardest, if not the, I mean, it could be tied for, hardest moon. I think Aquarius moon is a little bit harder because they're a fixed sign and at least Gemini can move around, move their energy around. But God, this is so hard. They also really do not enjoy exploring deep emotions. Sometimes there's a brilliance inside the Gemini moon person where they can convey their emotions through another medium, like dance or writing or art. But they don't usually like revealing their deep emotions. And they don't usually like answering super deep questions about their feelings or their relationship that they're in. I mean, go really, really deep. They'll stare at you like a deer in the headlights, like, huh? What? What do you mean? What do I feel? I don't know. And they're not even dumb. They're so smart. But they're wondering, what the hell are you talking about? Of course I like you. I'm sitting here, aren't I? I'm here. I'm here eating spaghetti dinner with you. Yeah, of course I like you. Make the deep questions be about someone else, and they're great. They can talk all day long about that, but you ask them about themselves, they don't know what the hell you're talking about. I'm going to have so many mad Geminis at me. Don't be mad at me. Go watch my whole Gemini playlist. You will know how much I love Geminis. I just know how hard this moon sign is. This sign is ruled by the mind. And so the head is ruling the heart, and it's tough. Now, if their chart has a lot of deep emotional aspects to it, then yes, they can go there. But I'm just talking about the pure Gemini energy. I'm not talking about if you have, the moon conjunct Pluto and you've got Scorpio South Node and Scorpio rising and you're a Pisces sun, that would be a very emotional person. And that would be kind of cool to have. That would be helpful. These people need a partner that will discuss with them, that will communicate with them, that will argue reasonably with them, that will explore ideas. And they live life in a sort of semi-skeptical way. And so they're not usually gullible, and they use their minds to get to the heart. They analyze their feelings more than feeling their feelings. Okay, I want you guys to stick to the end of this. It's a little bit of a long video, but I want you to stick to the end. What is hard about living with a Gemini moon? What is the hardest thing? Well, they live in a constant doubt, not knowing what feeling to have. Having your feelings constantly and always changing is exhausting. And you can be torn apart when you are plagued by doubt. It's painful. It's like always feeling like you don't have enough information to make the decision, or not trusting all the information. Like I got to gather one more fact or research it one more day or sit with this for a little longer or just wait another second or let me learn more, right? Let me educate myself more. Let me wait and see. And they can always feel like they just don't trust that they have enough information to lock into an emotion or a commitment. ambivalent. They get plagued with ambivalence and they stay ambivalent rather than making a true decision based on their emotions. It's like their mind just spins and spins and spins and spins, and they can't get to the decisive conclusion. And they always live in a perpetual why, why? And this can get them really stuck. They can be accused of being superficial or having shallow feelings, or they can feel shallow to their partner. I don't think they are shallow people. I think they don't know how to get the emotion in a place where it can bubble up and come out, and where vulnerability can be revealed. I think that's very, very challenging for them. Gemini moons, please share with me. Please share with the world and let us know. Can you relate to this? Can you speak to this? I want the world to understand Gemini moons and have compassion for them, for what is going on inside of them. And I want to break free from the stereotypes. I see all these videos where it's like, oh, Gemini moon is detached, cool, aloof. Well, why? When we understand that that's the nourishment that they got from their parents, and that they learned to become independent out of a self-defense, then we can grow our empathy, sympathy, and compassion for them. Gemini moons can really understand both sides of an equation. That's why they're really non-judgmental. They can even split hairs. They're kind of like a Virgo like that. They can split hairs and then split hairs and split hairs until the emotional situation just turns to poof, space dust. And then they don't even remember what the issue was because they got so deep down into the rabbit hole. And they can also get so overwhelmed by that process that they just end up just sitting in and living in the discontentment of it all. And it is so debilitating. And it can be at the dysfunctional level and the shadow side so damn painful. I mean, the pain is just unbearable. And so I really, really feel for my Gemini moon friends. That is very, very painful, because the truth is they want the succulent, juicy, warm, loving, effusive connection. They just were not taught 0 to 12 how to get it. And so they have to learn that. If you think about it, to teach the heart that, to not have that instinctively, and to have to teach the heart that would be hard to do, don't you think? So if you have a Gemini moon person in your life, help them with that. Be their safe place. Be safe for them. You can use the more emotional parts of your chart to tap into your heart. Just remember, just like gems believe that knowledge is power, with this knowledge, with knowing this is a big karmic lesson for your soul, you can start tackling the remedies right now. Start by opening up your heart, expressing your feelings, asking others to do that as well. Start really feeling the feelings inside your body. Here's my secret. And here's more remedies, okay? This is the secret key. This is the part that I want you to know. And I recommend, if you're a Gemini moon, please come to soulnavigation.com and get a reading, even a mini reading. And if you're a super supporter or a superstar supporter, you guys get 10% off of readings with anybody from my team. Not me, but anybody from my team. You'll get your super supporter discount. So it's really worth it. And I recommend you come get a reading just to help you with your chart. But here's the secret key. You can really warm up your Gemini moon if your Gemini moon is in a water sign house. So that would be the 4th house, the 8th house, or the 12th house. And I think the 8th house might be the hardest, because the 8th house does not like to reveal its vulnerability either. I mean, neither does the 4th or the 12th, but the 8th has a hard time really revealing. It's going to be a very private process for you, but that can help you. Now, if you have your Mercury in the 3rd, the 11th, or the 7th, or Gemini, or Aquarius, or Libra, along with your Gemini moon, this is going to create more independence. You're also in the advanced placement class of life, and this is going to be a little bit harder for you to like really sink your teeth into your feelings. And I want you to know that if this is you, please leave me a comment below because I want to know you. You must be brilliant. I mean crazy brilliant, like crazy ass brilliant if you have one of those placements. Will you tell me if you have this combination? Because I want to know you, and I want to know what incredible, crazy, brilliant ideas are you working on for your life. I also think if you had an Earth Mercury, because you have to realize Mercury is the ruler of your moon. So we need to go look at where Mercury is in your chart to know if your moon is going to want to detach more or attach more. If you've got an Earth Mercury, or if your Mercury is in an Earth house, second house, sixth house, or 10th house, or if it's in Virgo or Capricorn or Taurus, it's going to help you get into your body. It's going to help you want to physically merge deeply with somebody. If you've got your Mercury in a fire sign, Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius, or a fire sign house, the first house, fifth house, or ninth house, well, this is going to make your Gemini moon more fiery and more passionate and bolder and more social and more extroverted and more creative, but it is not going to make you more aware of your emotional body. This is the key. This is the magic key. Tell me where your Mercury is. So if you have a Gemini moon, tell me where your Mercury is. Tell me, because that is how you are going to actually process your feelings. That's the filter. That's the filtration system. How you do the emotional context of your life, how you do your heart, how you do your friendships, how you do love. So where is your Mercury by house and by sign? And that house and that sign is ruling how your heart goes. And this is what I want to ask you. Does your Mercury sit in happy aspect to your moon sign? Also, I want to say one more really big important thing, and that is if you have Mercury in retrograde, yes, and you are a Gemini moon person, I think this is actually very beautiful. And I think this allows you to slow down, to relax, and to go within and to process things internally and maybe even dig a little deeper. It allows for a more natural reflection. So Mercury in retrograde, I think, is actually a great thing for a Gemini moon sign person. I want to know, what do you think about this video? Please like it if you got something beneficial. Please stick with me and all of my videos because we go a little deeper in these videos on this channel over here at Soul Navigation. And thank you so much for being here. I hope you watch my whole entire Gemini playlist. And I just want you to know I love you, super supporters and superstar supporters. Get ready. My master class is coming. I can't wait for you guys to join the channel, and take good care. And I'll see you every Sunday at 9:30 a.m. P.S. By the way, we have videos every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Pacific time with Connie Jo, and Suzzy does live tarot right here at 4:30 p.m. Pacific time on every Friday night. So come join us Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Okay, you guys, bye for now.